You know what all the cool kids are doing these days? Listening to podcasts. And what does Toxic Radio have? Podcasts, duh.
Just as I thought.
Go to toxicradio.net and check out our weekly schedule for the lineup of great shows. Miss any of them live? No worries.
Thank God, dude.
We're on all the top podcast platforms, or just find them at toxicradio.net or on the free app. The choice is yours. Be cool or not.
We're gonna be cool.
Toxic Radio. Get the podcasts. Get infected.
Hey, buddy. Rah. Hey, man, that's a sweet heavy metal happy hour t-shirt. Where'd you pick that up?
Thanks, dude. I got it at the Toxic Radio shop.
Toxic Radio has a shop?
Yeah, dude. It's in the app or online at toxicradio.net.
That is sweet.
Yeah, and I also got a rockin' Toxic Radio hoodie and a Red Band Underground shirt. Dude, I'm gonna look so rockin' at the party tomorrow.
Well, I think you look pretty now.
Oh, wait, what?
The Toxic Radio shop is a place to get all your Toxic Radio gear. Shirts, hoodies, stickers. Find it at toxicradio.net or on the app. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic. Hey, where you going, man?
What's up, everyone? That's right, you're back. It's time to take it deep. You know what time it is. Got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about getting your balls pickled or playing pickleball. We're going to call this show Dead Air.
You're such an ass.
But thanks for tuning in, folks. We've got a lot to talk about. Food, all the normal shenanigans, Star Wars greatness that Mike is missing out on because he's lame.
Thank you.
And and he
overrated.
Yeah, just like every Marvel series that's been out since like 2010. Yeah, Winter Soldier was so fantastic. Scarlet Witch, yeah, great shit. Anyway, so a lot of stuff going on. Have you seen that new burger that came out from Arby's, the Wagyu burger?
The Wagyu burger? No. What the hell is that?
You never heard of Wagyu beef?
Wagyu beef?
Yeah.
This is 100% something I have not heard of that you are bringing to my knowledge.
What, Wagyu beef, you mean?
What is a Wagyu beef? Is that like Beyond Beef? Is that like...
No.
No?
I could tell that you think Salisbury steak is top of the line.
I hate you.
So... He's like, Mom, what are we having for
What
dinner?
Is a Wagyu?
Salisbury steak?
Wagyu beef?
It's a Kobe beef. It's supposed to be more tender, a finer cut of beef, if you will.
A finer cut. So you like the finer things
It's
in
a
life.
Japanese... I do like the finer things. It's a Japanese beef cattle breed. Derived from native Asian cattle, Wagyu refers to all Japanese beef cattle where Wa means Japanese.
So when you go to Arby's, you're a fancy man.
I'm not. I would never think that Arby's would try to produce something with Wagyu beef in it because Arby's and fancy doesn't really seem to fit in the same sentence. A lot of people diss Arby's. I think it's highly underrated. Some people say it's trash. I think they're getting the wrong thing on the menu. First off, they say they have the meats, but why am I going to Arby's for a burger? That's a good question, right? Because they're all about the roast beef. I had the deluxe Wagyu. By the way, when you make a Wagyu burger, let's not try to bite off Wendy's. They were like, do you want the deluxe? I'm like, well, what makes it deluxe? Pickles and onions. I'm like, okay, that makes it deluxe and lettuce? Really? That's what makes it deluxe? Give me something more than that. I mean, just say it's a fucking Wagyu deluxe. Just put the deluxe on there, And it's not a cheap burger, not expensive, but I got to tell you, I don't know if it's worth the price tag. I had it. I mean, if I'm rating what a Wagyu beef burger should, if we're going on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably going to give it 6, and that might be a little generous. The bun needs to be better. I mean, if you're going to attach Wagyu to it, I feel like you need to deliver on it. And I tried it, and it was delicious, but for a fast food burger. But I don't know, man. It's the new burger, and it's their first, and it's larger than a Big Mac. It tasted okay. It was good, but the texture is kind of off. And I do feel weird getting a pink fast food burger, meaning like, it's not cooked all the way, but I'm not against it. I mean, nope.
Burger, steaks, everything should always be pink.
Right, but when you go to a fast food place, you're not normally getting a pink burger.
Not normally, but I would prefer it.
Okay, so when you call up to Wendy's, you're like, do you have any pink?
100%.
They're probably like,
I worked at Wendy's. That's how I would make my burgers when I worked there.
You non-hand washing motherfucker worked at a food place.
Oh, yeah, dude, you have no idea.
No. If you ever don't want to eat fast food again, just think Mike's anti-hand washing stance and him working in food service for many years.
Dude, I mean, look, I'm of the sound mind. What you don't know and what doesn't make you sick doesn't matter, because working in fast food and working in an actual kitchen at a country club and seeing what happens to food behind closed doors and what they serve, it just deal with it. As long as you're not getting sick, you're fine.
By the way, wa means Japanese, and Gayu means cow, so Wagyu, that's the meaning of it.
I just want to yell Wagyu as I roll down the
Can't believe you
street
never heard of that.
on a unicycle.
Yeah, I've had this burger. It was okay from Wendy's. I don't know. I gave it a try because I was literally
had the Wagyu burger from Wendy's?
I was going to my brother's house. No, I'm sorry, Arby's. And I was going to my brother's house, and I was like, why not? So I got it. It was okay. It's a good attempt, but I don't really think it's that great. What I think is the hype worked too well. My first attempt to buy it failed. This guy says when his location was out of burgers for the day. I've never thought I'd hear about Arby's running out of burgers. First off,
no.
The Mexican pizza, though, I think it's off the menu again because they were saying that a lot of Taco Bells didn't have the Mexican pizza.
Right. It's apparently a supply chain issue once again. Everything.
How's it a supply chain issue? They have every shitty ingredient possible in Taco Bell.
Supply chain
They can't
issue.
get any fucking tortillas. Like every place, every Mexican place I know, and that's not even authentic Mexican, has tortillas. These guys just have to get like a commercialized bullshit tortilla shell to put their refried beans on it. I think they do it because they want to tease their customers and they're trying to hype it up.
Yeah.
Because Mexican pizzas were plentiful back in the day. You can't tell me there's a supply chain shortage on refried beans. They're out of business. I don't know. Like, what the fuck are they going to do? How?
I agree.
Supply chain my ass. That's the new excuse. Oh yeah. We don't have anything in, sir. My apologies. It's a supply chain shortage.
It 100% is just a catchphrase now that gets companies.
Bite we're gonna take.
It gets them out of the doghouse on things, or enables them to skyrocket their
I'm
prices.
gonna go ahead and tell you.
Oh, you mean people would gouge and take advantage at a time?
You don't have a burger. Well, guess what?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They got a burger.
I'm really surprised by that. I don't know. I would never think something like that would happen.
Me too. I put up a video just while you're talking about the burger, and because it looks like with this guy holding this wagyu.
First of all, I'm insulted by his T-shirt and his half-assed 1995 beard. And you bringing up another reviewer on here after I reviewed it.
But because you don't have the burger on you, we need to see it.
And I didn't want to break your no food rule.
The reason you already have multiple times.
Well, I didn't want to get you in hot water.
You already have multiple times.
Has anybody said to you anything about
that? There were comments.
Really?
Yeah. So, but the burger he's holding looks like from Good Burger, the Mondo burger.
However,
but it's not Wagyu beef though.
But it looks like the Mondo burger, that beef that just is so thick and so big. I kind of want one right now. Can we get our assistant to go get a Wagyu burger so I can taste it on air?
Yeah.
Cheese, lettuce, shredded lettuce.
Her name's Laura.
Tomato.
Oh yeah,
it looks really
I'm
good.
pretty sure Laura's gonna get right on that for you.
I hope so.
Where you put it in
She's not.
I was hoping
don't
this
blame
guy
her.
would have bit into it so we could see this red middle.
I don't blame her for not getting into it.
I guess I don't know.
We're not doing it for you. I don't think she
think
should.
they're wanting
Don't
to
do it.
test
Don't
the
do it,
water.
Laura.
Don't do it.
It's crazy. This was cooked.
Don't buy me food.
It was fried in grease, but it's no.
No, it's pretty cool. That
as
definitely is something
burger that you
different,
would get
not
that was
just a
cooked on a
different spin
grill.
on what everybody else is doing. Where
It is,
either you go on the flaming hot Cheeto
very juicy.
kick,
I mean, take a
or
look.
just
One more
jalapeno.
I felt like the Flamin'
Right
Hot
there,
Cheeto was
very
overrated when we
juicy.
did it. I just felt like it was.
It was.
It was just like I could have got
One more
some
time,
wings and like
right
some plain
there,
mild
very
sauce.
juicy.
Got a bag of Cheetos,
Cooked.
smashed it up, and dipped my wings in it.
Yeah,
I mean, almost
it's
as good
or
as
your
you would
balls.
want- you would want
It-
I
on
mean,
it's
I'm not eating my
basically-
own balls, but what
I
am I,
mean,
Marilyn Manson?
Yeah.
No. So, yeah, try that burger. Tell me what you think, but it wasn't that great. I don't think it was awesome. So, play that video I gave to you. I saw a video, the one that the very first one I gave you. I came along, and I just often wonder, like, there's this term I love called first world problems, and when people get annoyed by certain things and how passionate they get about it or how they feel about certain things, and this comes out of the beautiful city of Philadelphia, and I believe it's the Chestnut Hill section, which is more of a upper class area of Philadelphia.
It's where you go to get that Arby's burger.
No, I got that in Jersey actually.
Wow.
By the way, I had a Donkey's for the first time, and it's up in my like top 2.
And you didn't start off with that. You didn't start off with the donkeys.
I mean, Donkey's has an amazing sandwich. I
Yes.
haven't had one, and it's fucking amazing.
Right.
It's I know if you look at it, you're like, oh, it's on a round roll. Don't be fooled by it. Not
Right.
that one. Not that one.
Oh, not that one. Ooh,
No,
I'm
that's
glad
a different-
I popped it up and didn't pop it in.
Yeah, before that, it would
There
be
was
the,
one before that?
Yeah, it was the
There
Fox
was
News.
not. It says play this video, and that's the video underneath it.
No, I don't think you looked.
All right, here we go. Just you know what, Godfrey?
The Fox News video.
I got it. Just you zig when you're supposed to zag, and you post when you're supposed to not.
Well, yeah, something like that. So, I could barely hear you guys over the video someone's saying. So let's just play. Maybe we could solve that.
Tennis is lovely and quiet, but pickleball, there's like so many people playing, so it's mainly the noise of the pickleball paddles, but then the people are loud. And like, as with anything, there's some people who aren't very considerate, and they just kind of feel as like they take over the neighborhood and think that we're lucky to have them in our neighborhood, which it doesn't feel that way all the time because it's so loud and there's not much of a break.
No,
8-9 months a year you can't open your windows. Did you ever try and live someplace where you can't open your windows with the racket? That's how loud it is.
this guy's a sour piece of crap.
I walk down the steps, I hear it. Open the back door to let the dog out, you hear it. You close the door, you open the windows, you hear it. It's constant, it doesn't stop.
New game.
What the hell is that?
It looks like Sable.
Yeah, what is that? Where did that come
I don't
from?
know what the hell that is.
What the fuck's
what
going
the-
on today?
The hell is?
Well, we have more to the video, but
It went to a G4. No, it ended. It went to G4.
So, yeah, that's pickleball, and it's exploding. I played it. It's kind of fun. It's exploding on the scene, and this lady was complaining because of that noise you heard in the background was a pickleball being hit by a paddle, and that's the noise they were complaining about. Now,
Explain what pickleball is.
pickleball, I don't know, man. And if there's anybody listening to the chat that have played it, correct me if I'm wrong here. I have played it. I feel like it's a cross between tennis, racquetball, and I shouldn't really say racquetball, and like table tennis come to life, kind of. It's a fun game. It's inexpensive to play. I'm reading an article here out of KansasCityMag.com, and it talks about it's exploding in Kansas City. It's exploding everywhere, actually. A friend of mine's into it. I played it with him before. Courts are everywhere, right? The games are quick, it's accessible, and it's chatty. That's what they say. So it's a lot of courts. It only takes about 15 to 20 minutes to play a game. You can go out with a friend and drill or play singles. It's chatty. Contests or smaller players can easily carry on conversation or playfully taunt. It's not super intense. It's not too broy. You know what I mean? For example, I play softball, and it's a little broy, and like, we're all having fun, except there's always that one douchebag that wants to bring his fucking music and plays a little boombox on the side, and he's not ever playing in a game. He wants to mouth off and yell at the umpire, and everybody's like, shut the fuck up and leave. You don't really get that with this crowd, which is kind of cool. But it's fun. and it's not super expensive. You know, the balls aren't that expensive. You get a racket, you can get a cheap one, get a nice one, like with anything else, and I kind of dig it. So, lazy tennis. So that's a good way to describe it, and I like it. It was fun. But I mean, listen, outside of that, if you play that video game real quick, or just the first part of it, it's still up, I think. If it's not still up, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I gotta bring it back up. I'm telling you, it went straight into G4.
Really?
Yeah, that was the end of the video.
All right. Well, good thing. Good thing you're back there, Mike.
Thank you. Whatever I could do. Yeah, it's a 54-second clip, dude.
Yeah. So the lady's bitching. Like, I mean,
that one's kind of like that's a
woo, yeah.
depending on what else is out at the time. But it looks
Jesus
alright.
Christ!
Guess what you're.
I apologize. It's these videos are just.
I think I would have given you a TikTok video
doing weird shit, dude. What is with today?
It's those
I think the moon is in retrograde.
Guerrilla marketing. Yeah, I keep hearing retrograde gets blamed for everything.
Tennis is lovely,
Like, look at this shit.
quiet, but
What
pickleball, there's, like,
is that annoying
so
of a
many
noise?
people playing, so
Well, I didn't know that it would be
mainly the noise of
as
the pickleball,
annoying.
but then the people
Fast
are
forward to
loud.
get fuck her. She's definitely Karen part 1.
So apparently,
The
it's
old
just
guy's
two-
like, I walk my dog, I take a shit. It's like it never ends, like wiping your ass.
it's a wiffle ball and like, what's that game with? I don't know what kind of ping pong paddles.
Open the back door to let the dog out. You hear it.
Is it that deafening? And I see like Boomer crime coming. Look at the people playing versus the people getting all mad about it.
I mean, it sounds really loud per the.
Woo!
Sorry, Godfrey.
G4.
Godfrey gave me a
G4,
clip
baby.
that literally just
Is it a
goes
clip
into
from
something else. Now it's going into Sodi
Scott!
state of play.
All right, fuck that
so
clip.
what the hell is going on?
Anyway, I mean, listen, this shit, like, who complains about stuff like that? I don't understand. Like, are we at that level where we're going to complain about things that don't matter anymore?
Well, I mean, they're going to. So the whole thing is people will complain about anything that gives them something to do. You know, here's what I've realized in life. People like me, people like you, people like probably most of the people we surround ourselves with have things to do, have goals, have jobs, have side gigs, have ambition, have some kind of project going on at all times, right? But you do have people living in cities and towns and neighborhoods that literally either work and just go home and do nothing, or just don't even work and just do nothing. And these individuals will find whatever the fuck they can to be annoyed about.
Now, there are things that are you should be annoyed about. Have you ever heard of boom parties?
What?
A boom party.
I repeat.
So New Jersey residents are getting frustrated about boom parties coming from Philadelphia. It's so loud that you can hear it across the river. Even in Westville, New Jersey. Residents of both sides of the Delaware River, so people are frustrated in Philadelphia as well, have grown frustrated with the ground-shaking vibrations from boom parties that locals say have become more common. Boom parties happen when a large group of people gather near the Delaware River and blast music from their cars that are equipped with massive speakers. The vibrations shake nearby homes, and the sound is strong enough to carry across the water to both residents in neighboring states. That's pretty goddamn powerful, and I believe it too, because if you ever had a car go past your house, there you go. There's a boom party. It looks like a douchebag fest to me. Douchebag 2022, where we're going to be a D-bag and play a song we don't even know what it sounds like, but it's going to be loud enough to shake your cat's asshole. Anyway, it will steadily and pretty quickly became Sunday nights and Monday nights, and now it's 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, and there is no rhyme or reason. This is from Palmyra. They're hearing this, so this is all the way across the fucking water. Not only are the booms happening randomly, locals say the parties are growing larger at various locations along the river. Why are these being organized? Why are they being allowed to be organized? I think these people have a reason to be pissed. And why are they allowing to get larger? Barbara, who lives in the Bridesburg section of Philadelphia. So last week, residents of Bridesburg held a protest about the boom parties. They're protesting. That's how mad they're about it, with specific concerns about groups gathering on East Tioga Street and Delaware Ave. A few days later, police say 2 people were killed and 2 others were injured during a party on Tioga Street. So this is one of their concerns, that it was going to escalate, and people that don't like it are, saying that they're afraid they're going to approach them. Like even the Sentiments and Police, who's local in here, said that they're afraid that residents might go across the river and approach these people. Got to be pretty awkward, right?
Again, it's just people with too much time on their hands. These individuals, though, with too much time on their hands, are just being dicks to be
I'm all
dicks.
about solutions. And you know what I would do if I were them?
What?
If I had a boat, I would go on the Delaware River, and I would get a high-powered cannon that squirts water and shoot it directly at these people.
Okay, I mean,
hit the speakers with it. It's gonna make them. It's gonna make them short fuse. So that could cause a confrontation.
It could.
Who's this jerk off?
So I don't know who this jerk off is, but there was just some video from that picture just to kind of show these people all getting together.
Well, that guy said, I'm not sure we're going to legislate our way out of this. That Squilla said, even with legislation, we still need to partner with our enforcement agencies to address it, so it needs to be a collaborative effort. He introduced legislation to add special cameras with sound meters that could pinpoint where the sound is coming from and take pictures to issue violations. He believes it would be a small step and a much larger effort needed to stop the boom. So here's the thing about that. If it starts costing people money, Westville, New Jersey, I mean, that's not too far from here.
No.
They say they hear all the way over there, dude. That's crazy.
It is crazy. And at the same token, you got to think that there's got to be noise ordinances and loitering. Like, the cops can't do nothing about this? That sounds ridiculous.
Coming from the Philly side, I don't know if they can do anything about it. And maybe they need to push ordinance in, but they have to enforce it. So, I don't know, man. But I think that's worth complaining about versus pickleball noise. Just trying to show one end of the spectrum versus the other.
I would have to. So I truthfully believe it's people with nothing better to do. But the sound that pickle whatever was making through the microphone on the camera, it was pretty intense. And if you're hearing that going on for hours, if your house or your window is right next to that,
would you rather have a boom party?
That would be annoying.
Would you rather have a boom party where it's waking you up?
Depends on the music they're playing.
Okay, let's say they're playing What You Hate.
What do I hate?
So you're telling me you think if they're playing Frank Sinatra My Way, they're going to be okay with the boom party?
I think so.
At 3 a.m?
I think you see that guy who was just pissed off out front in a robe dancing.
So you think he likes Frank Sinatra?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I think the pickleball thing is a little bit, a little bit chintzy of them to complain about it. I mean, when you live in the city and you don't have that, and you are in an area where you can't really put space between you and your neighbor, move out of the fucking city.
Well, yeah.
Move out of an apartment if you have that problem.
If you're living in a city where you've got the thin walls next to everybody, and that's a young man's game. Don't be going there with your family. If you've got a family, or if you're older, move to where you got some land.
They make it sound like it's deep into the night. I don't think people are playing pickleball at 11 a.m. at night.
No. Or are they?
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
If somebody your age is playing, I mean, you're a whippersnapper compared to all the people we just saw playing.
Yeah, no, people my age and younger play, actually. I've seen it in person. It's a pretty wide age range.
Yeah, tell them to go play Frisbee Golf.
I think Frisbee Golf is for douche nozzles.
I mean, everything seems like it's for a douche nozzle.
Do you play Frisbee Golf?
No, I've been invited. I've been coerced to try and go play, but I've never done it.
I can't see you being coordinated enough to effectively play Frisbee anything.
I've played on the Xbox. Like, I think there was a game, on the Xbox or on my phone.
Doing it with your arm and playing with the Xbox.
Right.
I could see you doing, like, virtual Frisbee Golf.
I've actually looked for a VR Frisbee Golf game, but sadly there isn't one. If anybody out there can make one, that'd be great.
I hear you. So, did you happen to talk about this Amber Heard verdict, or listen to it, or read about
Amber Heard,
the Grumpy Queen versus the Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've been up to speed with it, they may say. I did see that Amber Heard's lawyer, who, while people were on the stand, was berating people, saying that they were just there for their 15 minutes of fame, and the day after the jury comes to their conclusion, she's all of a sudden all over morning television.
Yeah, well, play that clip I gave you of this is a clip a friend of mine sent to me, and it was just they were saying that it was a text they were reading. And it's the wildest shit. And I'm not saying this makes someone guilty or not guilty, but I just what you hear, you're just like, what the fudgity fudge?
Text, Mr. Depp. You said she's begging for total global humiliation.
Global
She's
humiliation.
Gonna get it.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna need your texts about San Francisco, brother. I'm even sorry to ask, but she sucked Mollusk's crooked dick, and he gave her some shitty lawyers. I have no mercy, no fear, and not an ounce of emotion, or what I once thought was love for this gold-digging, low-level, dime-a-dozen, mushy, pointless, dangling, overused, flappy fish market. I'm so
Holy shit,
she
dude.
wants to go to fight this out. She will hit the wall hard, and I cannot wait to have this waste of a cum guzzler out of my life.
This is the most extreme shit I've...
Here, which made me realize the time I blew on that 50-cent stripper. I wouldn't touch her with a goddamn glove. I can only hope that karma kicks in and takes the gift of breath from her.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little extreme.
That I'm to read that whole entire thing in its entirety with her sitting right there. Wow. I had not heard the full clip of that. That's pretty intense.
Well, he won his defamation case. Has everybody heard? You know, I saw people out there celebrating like it was a murder trial and someone got, you know, vindicated. But I think, I was talking to my friend about it. I said, do you think he's wrong? And they're both narcissists and they're both nut jobs. I mean, I think it's pretty fair to say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay. You know, it almost did feel like a hit piece that she was putting on him, right? And in that Washington Post article, which is where she got awarded, Depp got awarded $15 million for her, and in damages, it was $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages in his defamation suit. The jury also awarded her $2 million. The jury in Fairfax, Virginia, began deliberating Friday. Depp sued her for $50 million after she wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post in 2018, which called herself a public figure representing domestic abuse. Heard countersued Depp for $100 million. So if we're keeping score here, sounds like he won 13-2. You know, you're minusing the $2 million, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't really know who's wrong. It sounded like a fucked up relationship from the door, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, they were talking about Elon Musk. Elon's getting into everything, huh?
It's I mean, getting into everything. It sounds like the relationship. You know, we've all been there in our early 20s and teens, where you've got the crazy girl. You know, the crazy girl's fun. The crazy girl's fun. She's a party girl. She's outgoing. She's crazy. The craziness makes her good in bed, and it's okay because she's your girl. And then the crazy gets turned on you, and then it's no longer a fun time.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you crazy for facilitating that too, though?
I mean, in a way, because there's something for the person who loves the crazy, over the top roller coaster of a relationship like that. Yeah, there's something wrong with that person as well. But the one who is the crazy one, there's always a tipping point. I mean, there are times where the relationship will outlast the craziness, and then sometimes it'll settle down. You can look at each other later on in life and just go, "Man, we were batshit crazy." But if it doesn't outlast that, and the crazy gets turned on full throttle, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, man, I feel like Elon Musk is just like, you know, everywhere these days.
He's everywhere because, I mean, at some point he will be running for president.
You think so?
I think so.
Oh.
I think that is definitely in his future.
I don't know. I mean, never say never in this country.
Mark it down in your calendars, boys and girls. He's going to do it one day.
Yeah, well, I don't see that happening, but it could. Maybe people don't care, but, you know, there is a draconian side of him. He's telling people return back to work in the office or else. Of course, and companies start to return back to work, as he's saying. But he's saying basically you're going to work in the office a minimum of 40 hours a week, and then if you want, you can work outside outside the office at home. You can do overtime at home. What a nice guy. And you can't even work at a remote Tesla office. If you're in Fremont office or Fremont factory, you got to be there. So really kind of just putting down the hammer in terms of where he wants his people to be, he wants to see. He also said the company has ever shipped a great product from home. He says can't remember one in a long time. So he's very much putting down his foot on what he wants his employees in the office, like 40 hours a minimum a week. I don't know, man. This is a conversation between Brian Zassi and Praz Submarini, and it goes, good. As a Tesla investor, you would probably want to hear something like that. Here's growth. Here's a growth company with high valuation. Get your butts in the office and get to work. Yeah. And then, this guy says, there was a funny anecdote. He also, about how a SpaceX employee said that the one time he saw a line of interns waiting for coffee and he yelled at them, get back to work, and coffee's for closers. That's sales culture there. But, listen, I don't expect him to be a good leader. So I don't think he is. I think he is a walking narrative that he has created for himself, and people don't care about the context, but just the surface when it comes to him that want to be like, he's my guy. And, that's a dangerous thing to play. Because in this day and age, if you do like someone like that, and then you do find out, people won't back down. They'll be like, oh, well, that was just fake news. You ever see that pattern before? Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, he's not the same guy that I'm talking about, but, come on. I don't know. It's very draconian, and I think some people in certain positions, they exploit people. And that's just the way it goes. Yep. And I think when you get ultra rich, there's some level of exploitation that was there along the way. Now, some of you might be an apologist for that because you think you're a millionaire waiting. You're not. But I can make a bet that 99% of you aren't. But since, you think that your millions will be affected by having morals, I think this guy is full of shit. And is Twitter still bought yet? Or is that going to be like a year-long thing?
That's going to be a while. That's not going to be a year. That's going to be a couple-year-long thing. And just a little update on the whole Amber Heard thing. Apparently, it's being reported that she does not have the means to pay the bill.
No shit.
That she is declaring the fact that she does not have the means to pay a settlement. Amber doesn't have the means to pay the net judgment of more than $8 million.
Yeah.
Well, better get to work, little lady.
I don't know if she'll end up paying that. Is it worth enough to cover the $15 million? Definitely not. She's earned millions for her work in TV, such as Aquaman and Aquaman 2. She previously received $7 million in a settlement from Depp after their divorce.
Hell, if she starts an OnlyFans, I'm just saying.
Yeah, she needs to talk. She needs to catch them outside.
I think that how many people right now, if she decided to do an OnlyFans, would sign up for that shit in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah. So she got $7 million in a divorce, but the test
she was supposed to donate.
Yeah, she said her career has stalled due to her battle with Depp. And she's, an actress. I'm pretty sure she'll get some work. She'll rebound. Listen, as Louis C.K. can come back from some, jerking off in front of people, anybody can. $15 million in damages. I wonder if she can declare bankruptcy on that. So, Heard's pockets are deep enough to cover the damages, which include $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million. Although the latter was reduced to Virginia's cap of $350,000, such as awards, the jury also awarded her $2 million in the lawsuit. So I guess they reduced the $5 million to $350,000. Asked if her client could afford to pay the 10 point, so they did reduce it to the $5 million got reduced to $550,000 or $350,000. There's a cap on it in Virginia. Asked if her client can afford to pay the $10.35 million judgment, Heard's attorney Elaine Charlson told the Today Show, "Oh no, absolutely not. Of course he's going to say that. What lawyer worth their salt is going to be like, oh, she can afford it. Yeah, we'll pay the bill. Checks in the mail. Yeah.
She ain't even going to pay them.
Yeah. While Heard can appeal the verdict, she could be required to post a bond for the full $10.35 million judgment plus interest as the appeal proceeds, said attorney Sandra Spurgeon of Spurgeon Law Group in Lexington, Kentucky. For an individual who doesn't have the ability to pay the judgment and no ability to post a bond, then there is a real issue with the winning party intends to execute the judgment. By comparison, Depp 58 earned as much as $650 million over a 13-year period, according to Hollywood Reporter. Even so, a former manager and agent testified during the trial that his spending, such as $300,000 a month on full-time staff, he has eroded his wealth over time. Can you imagine that?
Jesus,
having that much money.
I can imagine he has a full-time staff for every little thing. Yeah.
But just blowing through that much money?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's crazy when you start thinking about it. I was watching some TikTok where a guy broke down how somebody could be a millionaire but still poor. Like it's crazy.
As noted above, Heard could appeal the verdict in hopes of getting a more favorable judgment and reducing the payment, which she's definitely going to do. If she wishes to stay the execution of the $10.35 million judgment, she will likely be required to post a bond, said Brian Pastor, attorney in Atlanta, who specializes in litigation and securities and who has experience in dealing with judgments. Heard could also opt to not post a bond, but that would also allow Depp to execute the judgment, he noted. Not enough money, wages can be garnished. File for bankruptcy. Heard also has the option of filing for bankruptcy, but she might not be able to discharge the $10.35 million debt through insolvency. Pastor noted that's because of part of a bankruptcy law that carves out debts stemming from willful and malicious injury by the debtor to another party. So, Depp could decide to waive the judgment. I don't know if he will.
I don't think he would.
I mean, it's pretty ugly, but time heals all wounds. Maybe he'll renegotiate or let it go down. I mean, does he need her money? It was really about clearing his name, right?
Yeah.
In a sense, I don't know. I mean, it seems, pretty fucked up. I'm pretty sure they knew how much she was worth and he was looking to bankrupt her. I mean, didn't that whole tirade that we played, didn't it sound like that?
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know.
I mean, again, if a woman that you dated, you feel destroyed opportunities you had to make millions of dollars, if she, it's, I mean,
well, let me ask you a question.
I mean, we guys out there, if a girl smashes your car and destroys your car, would flip their fucking lid. Mm-hmm. To go to the lengths that she did, I mean, that's got to piss off somebody.
But that's something that you can. I think the math is a little bit less harsh, where you can really financially go after someone for that. I feel like because you can quantitatively measure the damage on the car, right? Whereas this is a judgment based off what kind of compensation. I'm pretty sure that equation will come with it, but I feel like people are going to falsely identify with this.
Have you ever had an ex-girlfriend or a woman scorned that went crazy on you? Broke something, said something, did something?
No, I know how to bow out peacefully and diplomatically.
You pull that cord and jump?
I just know how to back out. It's a skill. You know what I mean?
It is a skill. Maybe
one day you want to break up? You don't feel like it's... Oh, I'm sorry that you said that. I'm okay with it, though. I think what you've decided is the best for both of us. And your decision is sound, and I support you in your decision of wanting to break up. 100%. Can you give me my key back? Thank you. I don't know, man. I think people are going to falsely identify with this, right? Yeah. I think there was a lot of fault on both sides of the party. I do think it was fucked up what she did in the Washington Post. I think it's hard to really judge a relationship sitting outside of the shoes of said relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that there are probably going to be a lot of cucks out there that are going to go, oh, see, that was for me. That was revenge for when I got fucked over.
Oh, yeah.
And your situation doesn't relate. Just telling guys, if you think your situation is the same, it's not. because you don't have that much money, and nor have most of you had a career where that was on the line like that.
Yeah.
You are not Captain Hook. You're Captain Fuckface.
You mean Captain Jack Sparrow?
Yeah, whatever. Jack
Captain
Sparrow.
Hook?
Yeah, whatever. Didn't he play
What?
Captain Hook?
No.
You're not Edward Scissorhands. You're Edward Loserhands.
What? Wow.
Thank
you, everybody.
Yeah. I'm just saying they don't.
Edward
not,
Loserhands.
Yeah, you're not.
That's the name of this episode.
Yep. You're not the same, as that. So it's a false comparison. So I feel like people had a vested interest in that. Like, does this verdict end what some people deem to be cancel culture?
No.
Was this the victory against that, what some people deem it to be?
No.
I don't think so either.
This was a victory of somebody, in my opinion. I don't know who was right, who was telling the truth. In my opinion, this was a victory of somebody who got way too caught up in the whole Me Too movement, where individuals were so quick to jump on, ban him, cancel him, shut him down. Look at what he did to Amber, because it was during that whole Me Too movement. And this was a righting of that wrong. And vindication for somebody who was wrongly silenced during that. Now, is Johnny Depp perfect? No. Did he do and say wrong things because he was in a toxic relationship just like any of us would? Absolutely. Did he drink a mega pint? That was a mega pint. But
a mega pint?
A mega pint. But
is that in relation to a grumpy?
I say that this was the vindication of that whole scenario during the Me Too movement. Because during that time, I'm sure that there were a lot of people bandwagon jumping or trying to call out somebody for something that they didn't do. And luckily, in this scenario, he got his ability to turn it around and show what kind of horrible person she was and is.
So here's a question people have. Less than an hour after Depp won his defamation case against her on Wednesday, he said in a statement he felt like the jury gave me my life back. But will the jury's decision help him get Hollywood career back?
I think so. He is watching how he was the maestro and orchestrated that courtroom to laugh and to go and to the whole entire nation, not just
if Mel Gibson can come back.
But not only that.
I mean, have you heard his tapes?
But yes, I have.
I mean,
I actually listened to it to go to sleep at night.
Howard Stern plays it all the time. It's hilarious.
So it's my nighttime music. But to watch how he orchestrated and was a master of ceremonies during this whole entire thing, and charismatic and made people laugh, and the people outside of the courtroom were on his every word. He bought them breakfast, TikToks and YouTube videos and Facebook posts, everybody cheering him on. When people get behind somebody to that magnitude.
So you would say the court of public opinion was on Johnny Depp's side? Was it? I think it was like a 70-30 split. 70 Johnny, 30%.
I say even less than that. But I think that the studios, the directors, the people in charge of hiring
by the way,
Pirates of the
Caribbean,
watching.
Overrated.
We're watching. You're a piece of shit.
Overrated.
We're watching and
same movie over and over again.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's the best thing ever. Suck my dick.
If you like Pirates of the Caribbean and you like Star Wars, you're a fraud.
The Sopranos was the same thing over and over again.
No, how dare you?
What are you talking about?
I will slap you with my prosciutto.
The Sopranos was the same thing over and over again.
No.
Any kind of TV show or movie that goes on for a long period of time, multiple seasons, that keeps going and keeps people interested, it's the same thing over and over again. You know why? Because the same formula works each time.
So, I mean, maybe it makes people think twice because there's a precedent about doing stuff like that, but I don't know if something like that is really going to – I don't know. I don't know if that filters down to the common man, but we'll see. They asked a lot of people that were in PR, and in interviews with NBC News on Wednesday, 3 PR and crisis communication professionals said that they felt confident that Depp could get his big screen career back on track. 2 other experts expressed more skepticism, pointing out that Depp's stature in the entertainment industry was diminished even before the trial started, and observing that a wide swath of the movie-going public will continue to believe that Depp subjected her to physical abuse over years, regardless of the jury's ruling. And I feel like that's what really pissed him off is the accusation of physical abuse, right? Howard Brower, because she did accuse him of physical abuse. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Howard Brewer, chief executive officer, newsroom, public relations. Because no one's in favor of physical abuse, right?
No.
I mean, just nobody, unless you're a piece of shit.
Unless you're Vince McMahon.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the truth. Yeah, he'll help you get off for murder like Jimmy Fly Snuka. I'll never be working for WWE now, but it's the true story. I mean, by the way, I'm disappointed in people. Speaking of wrestling, pause for a second. I know wrestling fans that call themselves wrestling fans that haven't watched Dark Side of the Ring. And why I'm disappointed in that is that people that aren't wrestling fans have enjoyed that series because of, the subject matters we were talking about. Like the Jimmy Snuka story can be a movie. Like that whole thing, how it went down. Briefcases full of fucking money in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you watch that's they do a real good job. That's not a softball documentary for the WWE. They don't look too good in part of that. So anyway, back to this. Howard Brower, chief executive of Newsroom Public Relations, a firm based in Los, said he thinks people in the industry will approach working with Depp with caution. Here's the thing about that. I've heard this with Robert Downey. How's that worked out? I heard it with Charlie Sheen. I think it was more so that Charlie Sheen, to be honest, isn't as good as actor as people want to act like he is in a movie setting. Maybe so in a secondary role, but as a main star, can you tell me movies that Charlie Sheen was in as a main star where you're like, wow, that was really amazing? Can you tell me?
Major League.
He wasn't a main star in that movie. He was a co-star. So, try again. And that's a stretch because you don't even like sports.
Oh, wow. What is that supposed
Although that's
to mean?
a classic movie, and his role was great in it. Don't get me wrong. He was a side character. So was Wesley Snipes in that movie. But I don't know. There will be some factions of Hollywood who will be cautious as long as they know there are people out there who think Amber Heard was telling the truth. How do you decide on making a movie that way? I mean, I guess that happens. I'm not in that industry. But, by the way, she's already had her damages reduced by almost $5 million. So I think they'll get reduced. And the jury gave his life back. And I definitely think he came out on top. I guess this was Pirates of the Grumpies.
What we get to look forward to. Is the docuseries that's going to come out.
Does there need to be a docuseries?
Yes. We need to see. We heard so many stories. We watched video. We listened to audio. We read text messages. We heard from eyewitness accounts. There was so much that went on here to paint the picture of this relationship going wrong that that this is a made-for-TV movie or a docuseries or something.
Was Charlie Sheen in The Rookie, by the way?
Where, I don't know. Where he was in those Naked Gun movies, wasn't he? Where you get to follow along, and the season finale or like the big moment is when she grumpies on the bed. But I can't wait to see that. That's going to be great.
I think it's rehashed. I just feel like there's no mystery left to it.
But any other made-for-TV movie where there was no mystery to it, they've done it 10 times over. They're doing a movie about Tiger King where that's been drugged through.
Never seen it.
Jesus Christ, you fucking piece of shit.
I didn't see it.
That movie and documentary was a documentary that we saw play out during the pandemic. They're still making a movie about it with Nicolas Cage.
I remember The Rookie now that he's talking about it, but again, he wasn't the main character. He was a co-star in that movie, and I believe Wall Street he was a co-star in as well.
So I can't wait for that to come
out. Listen, we'll be all right. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll watch it one day if I'm like going to bed and I'm like, oh, let me just check this out. I don't know, man. I don't think it's that great personally. So who knows? And it's just kind of sad, but there's other stuff to be sad about. But you look at it and you're just like, man, it gave some good theater though. That's for sure. So gave some good entertainment. I mean, it was like watching the NASA. People were broadcasting the decision. It was like watching the Challenger spaceship take off or something. I'm like,
what was better? I know you were alive for this. What was better, the O.J. Simpson trial or this trial?
You know, it's funny you say that because I feel like that's how people were reacting to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say this trial because the O.J. trial had more of a cloud over it, so to speak, because
people were dead.
People died.
Yeah.
And you know
that does put a damper on stories.
Yeah. And you know this.
She would be here to tell you the story, but
this one's more like gossipy. Like, oh yeah, a Grumpy's taking a shit on the bed. You know, Elon Musk was involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I wonder if it's true if he was banging chicks on box springs.
I
don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like I just feel like those things. I don't know. We'll see if it stands its test in time.
Yeah.
There needs to be another Dark Side of the Ring, though. Still king of documentaries right now. Docu series, I should say.
Whatever the doc is gonna do. I'm with the doc.
Yeah.
I'm ready to doc.
Yeah, that's not hot. So I don't think anybody wants to see you doc. But you know, hey, do you? Speaking of docking, sperm donor fathered 15 kids without telling moms he has genetic IQ disease. Is that a New York Post? Facebook sperm donor fathered. I wonder how they confirm this. 15 children, but never told the mothers he has an inheritable condition that causes learning disabilities. James McDougal, what a piece of shit. Fathered 37 fathered children with lesbian women through private donations advertised on social media, despite knowing he had an incurable Fragile X syndrome, a genetic disorder that leads to low IQ and developmental delay. That's great. Awesome. Let's put some more members in society. Yeah, great. McDougal's identity came out in a family court battle in Derby, United Kingdom, after he applied for paternal responsibility and challenge for orders for 4 of his children. What? Even though he originally signed an agreement saying he didn't want contact with some of his children, the mothers of the children were opposed to the applications. Hold on a second. As a judge, how can you reverse that? I don't know. I'd be like, dude, you signed it. You know what I mean? Like, what you would have, if I was the judge, you have a real hard time getting me to overturn it. You would have to put a very compelling case in there. Derby Court Judge Justice Nathaniel Levin named McDougal to stop other women from using him as a sperm donor and ruled he should not have a responsibility for children as it would cause them harm.
Wow.
Yeah, probably right.
You get these type of guys though every couple of years.
What, that are doing that?
Yeah, I've heard
that's
about
great.
it
So
before.
they multiply that every couple of years by 15 kids. Awesome.
Hey, you got to populate the earth, right?
Yeah, okay. We need more population. So after giving birth, SW contacted McDougal, who visited often. According to the Mirror, she became pregnant with her second child while McDougal lived at her home during the COVID breakdown. So, all right. So the judge also forbade McDougal from applying for a court order for the next 3 years due to his lack of insight into his conduct and because it would traumatize the mothers. The court heard from one woman, only identified as SW, that's why I'm saying that, 25, who got in contact with McDougal after seeing his advertisement. Her children are now 3 and 2 years old. SW's 3-year-old is nonverbal and has challenging behavior due to Fragile X syndrome. Jesus Christ. It's a fucking, after giving birth, SW contacted McDougal, who visited often, according to the Mirror. She became pregnant with her second child while McDougal lived at her home during the COVID-19 lockdown until she asked him to leave. This dude was still able to find a nest. SW claimed he made sexual comments toward her and showered her with the baby at least twice.
Wow.
He was arrested in June 2020 for attacking her. In a different court, McDougal won a case allowing him to have regular contact with a boy he fathered who was born in July 2018. Child returned to non-accidental bruises and Levin adjourned the case until social services could get a report. That's the judge. McDougal went with private sperm donations because he knew he couldn't go through a clinic with his condition, the court heard. Oh my God. So the judge had no confidence in McDougal. I mean, first off, I got to say, and I hope people did this and they did their due diligence because it'd be easier to live with that choice if someone fooled you. But if you're going with a private sperm donation place, I'm guessing, wouldn't you have questions about the specimen that, I don't know, donated to sperm, right? And I guess the guy lied, so that's the problem there. So there's a very specific benefit in his being named in the hope that women will look him up on the internet and see this judgment. The judge said after refusing his lawyer's request for anonymity, the usual approach for anonymity in a family court should not be used as a way for parents to behave in an unacceptable manner and then hide behind the cloak of anonymity. And fucking word. Anonymity. Go fuck yourself. McDougal's adoptive parents, June and John, spoke to the Daily Mail in their son's defense, claiming he is a victim. Oh, he is. He's kind-hearted and would do anything for anybody, including give his sperm. They didn't say that, but he is gullible. So he's gullible. Okay. He didn't seek any money, as far as we are aware, for providing that service. He just did it. Wait a second. Is it part of the reason you're donating sperm is to get cash? I've never done it. Mike, have you?
No. The only ones I've donated to were my girlfriend's.
Okay. McDougal was accused of taking advantage of the woman's desire to have children without any concern for the detrimental impact his condition could have on those families. Maybe he's too dumb to figure it out. I'm not making an excuse for this guy, but I mean, Jesus. I don't know.
No, this guy gets no excuses.
That's crazy. Yeah, thanks for the push notification, Mike. I'm late now. Yeah, Brad, you can rewatch it, but I agree. Blame Mike. 100%. I got a push notification though. Facebook has been really spotty with that.
Yeah, it's not me. Blame the Zucks.
The Zucks Cucks. That's going to be your softball team you're on. Zucks Cucks. Mike's like, I'm starting a team. Zucks Cucks, baby. Anyway, with that being said, folks, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening in. And you know where to find us. And if you want to hear the rest of this episode like Brad and you got here late, you can rewind it. Subscribe to the podcast, Taking It Deep with The Godfrey, Amazon, Google Play Podcasts, you name it. Search Taking It Deep. You can share. Give it to your mom as a Valentine's gift. No, don't do that. Anyway.
What the hell are you saying?
I don't even know anymore. On that note, folks.
Wait, before we leave, I just want everybody to know, I hope that everybody had a very good holiday weekend this past weekend. And because of what Godfrey puts me through sometimes, I do want to share with him what I did at my barbecue this past weekend, which was we did the hot sauce challenge.
I saw that.
All the way to the beyond insanity. So just to share with everybody, no video of me crying, but I did cry.
The one all the way to the left is the bitch hot sauce, right?
Yeah.
The Goya one?
Yeah.
The one all the way to the right is the one that made you hurt.
Yeah, that's the bad one. So I just wanted to share that with everybody.
So which one? So are you the only one that did it?
No, 4 different people. That's why we got 4 different rows
what is that, like Baby Ray's sugar-free wing habanero sauce?
Yeah, it's mango habanero, just basically keto mango habanero. Then
is that really even hot?
It really does. I'm really in order going from
so what are you putting
mildest
on? Is that
to
chicken?
Hottest. So it's chicken.
Okay.
And then you go to the Buffalo Wild Wings habanero heats with a little bit of sweet. Then Steve-O's Butthole Destroyer, and then the bomb Beyond Insanity.
Butthole Destroyer.
There you go. And It did destroy my butthole. And I'll leave you guys with that.
Wow, what a way to end the show. Hot one. I guess it's going to be a hot boy summer for Mike. But with that being said, folks, we are going to get out of here. And thank you for tuning in. And this is the Godfrey, not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.